have to talk to her
Yes.
anyway.
She's so nice to me, really good.
All
We
right,
always talk about
fantastic.
stuff too.
we were 17 minutes to spare, so we have time.
That's perfect.
All right, so Annie,
Speed through
what is the timer here? So what do you think went well? What do you think you did well there?
I thought I did a good job of, I mean, the goal was to build rapport, and I felt like when I went in there, and actually when I had the presentation with Gwen in person, I definitely went in and I felt like I didn't waste her time, which I know it's low bar, but it definitely felt like it was.
I've been on plenty that didn't hit that bar.
Yeah, they're out
Plenty.
there. There's a lot of time,
Yeah, so that's
time
what-
waster calls. So.
I think that's the biggest thing is I didn't waste your time.
Yeah, yeah,
So.
okay. I think you're setting the bar low on your feedback on yourself too.
Well, let's see what else I did well. I'm glad it's being filmed because I can look back and see what I did.
Well, let's see what we
kind
help
of
you.
just turn the brain off.
Let's see what you help you out. John, what do you
Yeah.
think?
Well, you said at the beginning that this client was very visual, right?
Yeah.
So I think it was really smart to show the reliability visually and actually showing the 99% across the board, right? Because we want to see that number, so does the client. So I think showing them that in total for the annual and then monthly breakdown was like, oh wow, she was right. She did actually stand by her promise that they're going to stay reliable.
It's a good point. Like, lay that out there, especially if it's 99%. Because recently, it hasn't been like that, right? I've seen 91s and 90s and 89s for healthcare customers, and it was like, oh, I'm never going to put that in there. But if you got it, put it out there.
Well, so let's for a second talk about managing information skillfully.
Yeah.
What if January through June we were at 96, and then we got better, and around July it got up to about 98, and then went 99 for the rest of the year? What would you have showed on the slide?
Snip and just go your
Throughout the
way.
year, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Well, because that's actually cropped. Because there was a whole nother bottom section of like broken down by
You
service.
can't give away my tricks.
I'm sorry.
Well, what if-
Molly helped me on that one.
Andy, what if they ask you, okay, why do we only have this number and not the rest of the years?
Oh,
Not enough RAM in the computer.
How would you approach that one?
mm.
Can anybody help with that
That's a
one?
great point.
How would you approach that?
Our system only goes back 6 months. That customers would believe that, like the amount of data.
Okay, so first suggestion is the lie. Okay, we got it.
Lie.
But
Okay.
then I think you make a decision on whether it's a quarter or 6 months.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't pick a month or two. That's a weird
Yeah.
period of time.
Yep.
But if you say this is the last quarter, maybe you don't show the year number. You know, you just update on the last quarter. Because we're still putting 2018 year-end numbers in these because I think we're trickling behind. But now really we're going to now in April start to think about our second quarter ones in April, but we can review Q1. And so 3 months might be enough.
Here's another little trick that we can maybe do, is
Mhm.
that you look at it by, not only late by time, because that's what they look at it from late by day, and then that could offset or make that number go a little bit higher by late by day.
Depends on how
Okay.
heavy of an air shipper it is.
Yeah, right.
So-
And how much RAM? Because
It just, I'm just like, just think about some other ways that you can kind of get yourself in a better position based upon, and you're not fibbing or telling a lie. You're directionally in their area. Let's put it that way.
These are hard.
That's why we cut the service level one out, because with the new KPI, if they don't ship a service level, it's an empty bar, which I think
Yeah.
looks goofy too. But they had shipped 6 international packages,
Yeah, they were all.
and it was like 4 packages, and we were like 75% on time, and it was 2 packages, and we were 50% on time. So all of a sudden the graph like goes like this, and like really like you don't need to be answering those questions, because like it was a package or 2 packages.
So who do you go to if you want to try to get that information? Because you get the KPI information, right? So who do you go to get that late by day?
Antoinette. I would pay Antoinette for the KPI.
Okay, so she's able to do that. I think I don't
This
know.
is- this was
I don't
what
know if
had
she
this
has the ability to do it by.
Jay Freeling can get
Jay
everything.
Freeling is a good
Yeah,
person.
but we're supposed to lessen our request to Jay.
Okay, so you're
That's
supposed to do it.
why we're going to
So
Antoinette.
Antoinette needs to find
We'll
that
go
out.
to Antoinette
Okay.
for the KPI. The late by day, late by time is technically available in C's. which I thought sales ops knew.
Doesn't Dan Lumsden do that too?
No,
No,
he's
no.
not here
he's in
anymore.
He's gone.
I don't think I know what C's is.
I thought, no, you two were here. We met with sales.
It's just an internal sales office.
Thank you.
No, it's an
You don't
internal
want-
operational
You don't
thing.
want-
When we met with, does anybody remember when we were with Linus and sales ops came and presented? We were in the conference room over there. I thought sales ops should be able to pull Cs for you, so we'll have to figure that out.
I had
I'll give you
done-
the late by
was
day,
it
but I,
Megan? Was
Listen.
it-
Yes,
It was
yes.
Megan who was able to pull, but she's not here anymore.
but she was representing sales ops, but if she can't, we could do that at a later date.
Right, I just wanna make sure you know where to go in order to get this done, okay?
And it's only gonna help if it's a very, very heavy next day air shipper. Cause there's no late by time on a ground package. It's either got there or didn't.
Right. Molly, what else,
Precision.
what else do you think she did well?
I liked at the beginning how you set the agenda. I think that you were really clear about that, about what you wanted to accomplish. So I think you did a really good job on that.
I agree, I think all three of you, rapport, agenda, time in transit, you're right on par, that was good. So what do you think, Annie?
Oh,
from-
wait, no, that was pretty slick with 3.5 days.
That was cool.
That was
I
pretty
agree.
good.
I agree. that
Deserves
was
some
so
kudos
cool.
for that.
I've never heard that.
3.5.
It's a good thing.
On your
When you
hours,
said you're
yeah.
saving 3.5
Oh.
days,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
You
still
said,
don't
like,
fully
full
follow
days.
the math, so I might have the math there, but that was a pretty impactful way, because yes, when we do onesie, twosie hours, it's not very impactful.
Yep.
But
Well, because it was 21 hours, 25 hours, and then I forgot what the third one, but it's like around 27 hours.
you know what
So it
another
was like
another way you could
The
have
half was definitely a
framed
generous
that
half.
to make it more impactful? 10.5 work days. Because he said, "Wow, 3.5 work days." No, he said 3.5 actual days. If you would have related it to work days, but whoa,
Okay.
I just got 2 weeks back of time because of solutions that you guys gave me.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Okay.
It's the
so
same
then you
data.
could also say, if you're not fully with my numbers,
Yeah,
and you want me to have everything, that's 5 days.
yeah,
If you got 5 more operating days in a year, what could you do?
yeah.
Well,
That
that's
was-
a big deal.
Now we can go on to that.
Thank you.
It's good because the visual, I picture a person.
Yeah.
Like when you gave me a day, I pictured, all right, there's 2 people and now there's another one.
Hmm.
She gave me another person standing there. That's a huge deal versus 2 hours, 3 hours, 25 hours, 4 hours. So very nice job.
Yeah.
Very nice job. And thinking on your feet. So that was good.
Yeah.
Good composure.
So what do you think you would have changed, what's the number one factor you think you would have changed in the presentation?
Well, I was about to say, I'm surprised you said good composure, because I was about to say that I felt like I looked and seemed nervous.
To me, you didn't.
No,
I didn't think so at all.
No.
You did.
Oh, well.
Nope.
Specifically,
Surprise.
on a couple of questions, you specifically were very confident. You could tell you're thinking for a second, but composed the entire time.
That's good.
Yes. That piece was better than I absolutely expected it to be. Because I'm thinking, you just got here. I mean,
I'm just faking it.
you know.
Can I bring up one other good thing?
Yeah, go ahead.
I liked how you teed up the paperless invoice when you were going over the results. Because that made the results from last year more relevant.
Mhm.
I see you shipped all this to Canada. I'm gonna help you save some time doing that this year.
Yep, and then you were able to come back to it. So, nice.
So what area do you think you would have improved on, as far, what do you changed?
Definitely get those numbers from about the CTP. And I just talked to Taylor and he told me how to do that, so I definitely know how to do that. And I feel like I could have made this more relevant. I had it and I didn't, I just was like, look at this. I didn't really take you through it.
All right, so Molly started smirking at me at one point when we were talking CTP. So do you remember why? Can you give some feedback on
I don't remember.
it? And I'm
why.
hoping you will. Where was the original CTP conversation?
Right there.
Right there.
I think I scattered it out throughout.
It's
the
right here.
conversation.
Yeah, it's here.
It's there because we learned something about the customers we were doing this.
I know what it was. So what you said was, if this is something you'd like to do in the future, maybe what I would suggest is that you can make contact with the other locations, you know, see if they have any needs, and we can always revisit that at a later time. And my response to you was, all right, yeah, I'll make
Yeah.
contact with each of those locations eventually
not
and
seem into
see. So let's rethink that moment.
Yeah.
Somebody tell me what would be a better plan to assess the needs of this customer when it comes to the equipment they might need in shipping areas that aren't here? What would be a better plan?
Asking the people in the warehouse.
Getting the contacts.
Asking the reps in the other area.
Yeah.
Right.
Definitely.
Whoa, ding, 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 ding.
Counterpart?
Yeah, working with your partners.
All right,
And
so let me try it.
about that at all.
Here's what we'll do, because there's no way from this location you're gonna know what some guy in a shipping area is gonna need, and even if you call him, he's not gonna know.
Yeah.
You know what I should do? Why don't I have one of my folks stop in at your location, see what's going on in the shipping area, what they might need, and then I'll have them report back to me. Now, is that the only thing you want that UPS representative to do when they walk in there, is figure out if there's free equipment we can give them?
Also see if there's any other additional volume that could be gained in that location.
Additional problems to be fixed, additional volume to be gained, additional anything that can go into the next one of these that can grow your revenue and further build what you're starting to do. Okay, so anytime you delegate to a customer, expect it to take a long time or never happen. Especially if they don't see the benefit yet. Because she didn't see the benefit, she never signed it before.
Well, no, she did sign it. They signed it and they just
And they just never used it.
Yeah, the money's just sitting there.
So what you're really doing is figuring out how to compel her that she needs this.
Yeah.
And what would be really cool is if she needed this and had more packages she could give you at another location. Now, I know you said they love us and there's probably nothing,
Yeah.
but nothing could be nothing except for those low weight LTL shipments that we would never give you guys because you're small package. Those are the things you don't know for sure, right? Maybe, or maybe.
I know for here they're shipping LTL with us too, but yes,
Yeah.
I understand.
Well, then you got bigger problems. Did I say that? I'll keep my fingers crossed.
Fred, that's Fred's.
That's all right. They know it too.
Could I propose something like if you knew there was even lightweight LTL to
Yeah.
GFP or something, and they stop out the other locations, everything's kosher there. They're using ship gear. Ship gear can be CTP'd. That's a win-win for both of y'all. Because you're paying for their ship gear
Think of that.
and you're locking them in for 3
Yeah.
years. But of course, it has to be a trade, right? But it just could be something to think of.
And hey, just imagine the credibility you would build with this lady who you're now befriended, she
Yeah.
wants to help
She's
you
already
out.
my mentor, so.
And if you came back and you said, listen, I'm not sure you were thinking about the CTP right, because I don't think you know what it covers. You know, it's just not hardware, it's software.
Well, she literally told me she didn't know what CTP covers. She was like, "Can I buy scales with it?" And I was like, "Yes."
That's a great suggestion, and now your credibility goes through the roof when she goes, I had no idea.
Yeah.
You know, and now she starts realizing, God, this is a consistent benefit I can receive as long as I keep shipping with these guys. Very good suggestion, nice job.
Taylor, what do you think, one other thing that maybe she could have improved on, changed?
I mean, she kind of said it herself, just the updated information on the first couple slides. I know obviously you would probably look through it before you send it to the customer, so. I mean, I really think that was it, you know, it was really good for her, probably her first QBR and first time ever doing this type of training and being recorded. I think it was a really good job.
Absolutely. Very nice.
I got a question. And I don't know if this will apply or what, but Gwen, you said, what was her title?
She's the national sales manager.
Which is, I don't know if some of you heard this in the beginning, which is kind of different, right? You don't, most of the time, you really don't meet with salespeople that often, right? I mean, they don't have that responsibility. Sometimes they do a dual thing or whatever, but it's not frequent, you know, it's kind of odd. So, and the reason that comes to my mind is because I from a healthcare standpoint, I kind of looked at this as an opportunity for us in the past. So, if she's a national sales manager, what do you think is important to her?
Growing the sales.
Right?
Yeah.
Sales.
Yeah.
So, probably this stuff is a little bit secondary, and sales is probably number one thing because that's what her job is. So how do you think we could position this presentation towards that?
Would it be more beneficial for me to have brought in more of like a marketing aspect of it to kind of tell her how to grow sales, maybe even, I don't think they're using any, like what Matt brought in, the custom labels, and they're already using World Chip, so.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and I'm gonna say that she probably, if she doesn't know what CTP is or doesn't know some of these other nuances
She's older.
and she's older,
Yeah.
she probably doesn't know half of the things that can be done
Yeah.
from a sales. She probably thinks UPS is shipping and they just ship out packages
Yeah.
and they have no bearing or relevance on
Yeah.
my sales.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm thinking is if we could take that,
Yeah.
maybe that approach, or maybe down the line here, moving forward, maybe that could be something else that would be to a benefit for her.
Or maybe just since I just found out she was a national sales manager, who's the international sales manager, and you know what their goals as an organization standpoint.
So the company's based out of Germany.
Oh, okay.
We did our
And this
research.
is the,
Yeah.
Looks like they can only really like service the Canada market
It's
effectively
just
from here.
Canada.
They've got offices all over the world.
Yeah, but they're,
But normally,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
And
I
they're-
would think that I would use this as an opportunity to ask her how you could help her or what she hears from customers so that you can, because I would be nervous with like they're true B2B, right? They're these like cutting things.
yeah, they're saw blades.
Yeah, like what we would want to position to meet their needs.
And I think there's gonna be more talk and more discussion of
Right.
kind of how that
And
plays
maybe
out.
you just
But
make a discussion topic or
But I
something.
think that if we could gear that towards maybe that area, I think that helps you, and especially if she's seeing you as this, she's your mentor and all this other
Right.
stuff. She's gonna want to talk about what she does and what her
Yeah.
business is.
Yeah.
So she's gonna want to give you that information.
Yeah.
Don't ever discount that. And was something I picked up from when I was doing healthcare was that I started to go towards the sales department in healthcare a lot. And the reason why, they weren't the decision makers, but they were some influencers because they were responsible for
The business
servicing their
customers,
customers, and when they didn't service their customers, that fell back on them. Or if I gave them an advantage to serve their customers versus their competition, now I got somebody in my corner also saying, hey, we need to make this happen. And that was where, from like I said, from a healthcare standpoint, you're going around to these doctor's offices, well, hey, if I can get my shipments into you earlier in the morning, or get them picked up earlier to get them back for the results, how much more business is that gonna bring you in? So just keep that in mind, we don't always talk about the sales force at that point, but it's something that could be relevant, so just keep it in mind.
Mhm.
So,
Good deal.
anything, Lou?
No, I mean,
Okay.
well, like I say, you are very conversational. You're going to be great at this. Because if you were able to handle that moment of tension that way, you're golden.
Buttered up.
All right.
Nice job.